It just might Rainmaker. It's been official. We talked about it on the channel, but we might as well recap right now. Okada has made an announcement that he is not returning to New Japan. He will not be doing a part-time contract, and he's undecided where he should go. That's the latest update. He's like, I don't know where I should go. Oh, he's been in New Japan since he's been a teenager. Been a teenager. But here we go. Me and the raccoon will figure it out. I think the top two tiers, WWE and AEW. But do we sleep on TNA? Do we sleep on TNA? It's the long shot. It's the long shot. All right. Can I pitch can I pitch the good and bad, the pros and cons, and then you be the final judge, Sid?
Sure.
All right. WWE. Let's start with WWE. WWE always wanted him. They went to him before Kenta. They went to him before Nakamura. They sent him fruit baskets. They have been trying to get Okada forever. So, you know when you're rich and powerful, you understand the SidsLight. You want everything. You're like, I want what I want. Here's the thing. They can get him. They can get the one that got away. All right? No Kenta, no Nakamura. Bam, we want Okada. Second off, they could say, hey, you know that King of Sports? We'll get to you. The King of Sports style? You don't have to do that. Yeah, dude, no one fucking tries here. Just fucking stare at each other for 20 minutes and hit a Rainmaker at the end, and people will be happy. These people have no standards, and you'll be safe as can be. Plus, WWE has a bad reputation with Japanese talent. This is the Japanese talent they have wanted for over a decade. And Triple H wants to prove to the world that he can properly book a Japanese legend. Okay, those are the pros. The cons. Nakamura, Kenta, any Japanese athlete not named Asuka. I think Asuka did pretty well in WWE. All right, so that's the pros and cons. Percentage-wise, he's going to WWE before your final verdict. That was my pitch. What do you think, and what do you have to add, percentage-wise?
Well, a good pitch, I guess.
All right, thank you.
Go get yourself an apple.
Okay, appreciate it.
Yeah, no, the coffee you're going to have to pay for, so don't drink any of that. That's for the employees who are going to be here after today. Anyways, I think WWE won't be the one who can offer him the most money. I think AEW can offer him the most money and is most likely to offer him the most money, not because of the depth of pockets, but because of the amount of shame required to dig that deep. And Tony Khan's willing to dig much deeper with much less concern, I think.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Percentage-wise for WWE, I don't know. 33%.
33%. All right. So that means you think TNA has just the same amount of chance. We'll find out. All right. AEW can be with his friends, the Young Bucks. Can be with Kenny. Can possibly see some of his Japan friends. It's weird because the fact that he said he's going to go full-time and not be there is interesting. The Forbidden Door is just becoming a door. It's just a door. There's no forbidden door. It's the unemployment line from New Japan to AEW contracts. Probably get more money, but he'll probably have to work a rougher style, and his body's a little beat up. And I think Tony Khan won't forget about him as much. Like, he has a better track record, but it's a shorter track record. So, what's your thoughts on percentage? The cons, I guess, for AEW is, I guess, maybe not as much exposure. I think WWE would be bigger exposure, and I think a part of Okada, because he was always like, I want to be the little fish that makes a giant ocean. I think a part of Okada is like, if I go to WWE, there'll be more eyeballs that know about New Japan. And I feel like that is a part of his decision. So, all right. Percentage he goes to AEW.
I think 50.
50%.
I think you combine a lot of things. A lot of the people that he's loved working with and wrestling with are in AEW. Like if you look at the percentage of people that he openly like, people know he really enjoys working with and he likes. There's the most of them are in AEW compared to WWE and TNA. AEW's got the Bucks. He loves the Bucks. It's got Omega. It's got Bryan Danielson. He loves Bryan Danielson. He loves wrestling Bryan Danielson. It's got a bunch of guys that he really enjoys working with. I think that plus Tony Khan's willingness to dig deeper overall for someone he really wants makes it where AEW is the most likely.
Yeah.
But still only 50%, I'd say.
And I'm thinking with Nakamura. You know, Nakamura is close friends in WWE, but after that, the list kind of drops off.
Yeah,
him and Nakamura are insanely close.
Super close with.
Yeah. And then also, like, to spin it, you know, we try to look at it from every way. Maybe it's new opponents. He's like, oh, I haven't fought a lot of these guys. WWE has newer opponents. But I think money-wise, AEW would spend more money off for him. But you never know. I mean, WWE has been hunting him for a while. So
I'm more interested in him in WWE than I am in AEW personally.
At this point, I know this is going to sound over the top, cheesy, positive Petey. I just honestly want him to be happy and put on a good show. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I really want to see something like, I would love to see Orton versus Okada with both of them trying.
Oh, that would be amazing if they both tried, yeah.
Yeah, if they both tried, that could be one of the best matches of both of their careers.
Yeah. Yeah, it is interesting. All right, let's talk TNA. All right. They seem to be the third man out, but according to reports, TNA wants to spend money, and still people are not choosing them. It reminds me of being like a baseball team. You're like, we'll spend money. And they're like, yeah, that's cool. I'd rather just go to the Dodgers, Yankees, or, or Red Sox. So, know who a TNA is? Baseball-wise, they're the Texas Rangers. They have money, but come on. Who really wants to be a Ranger? Who wants to be a Ranger? A-Rod don't even want to be a Ranger. TNA is the Texas Rangers.
See, I think TNA, I give them that last 17% because I think TNA is willing to spend money. So that puts them in the top. Also, if Okada wants to be the small fish that goes out and makes something big, this is a good time for him to do it at TNA. And he would definitely be at the top in TNA. But is that going to be worth the accolades of WWE or the likely higher pay and more friends in AEW?
Now, this is off Japanese internet, so take it with a grain of salt. Some people trust the internet more than they should, and some people hate the internet more than they should. But Japanese internet said TNA helped him while in America. They were like helping him with paperwork. They were helping him, and he had a bad taste in his mouth from when he was horribly used with Samoa Joe in TNA. And it changed and TNA really went out of his way to be a good host. They're like, oh, this is how you do this paperwork. This is how you do that. And, just like a college athlete, maybe a smaller university gets the star because of that situation. So
it's possible.
Yeah, and like I said, these are just Japanese dirt sheets, so take them for what, I don't know. Judge the internet the way you feel like it.
At the same time, though, that benefit of TNA will help him go through his paperwork. Without a doubt, he knows he'd have zero worry about that with WWE.
Yeah,
WWE's had so many huge Japanese stars come through and go in seamlessly that he knows he wouldn't have a problem. They would take care of it.
All right, I saw a meme, and I saw on Twitter, and I apologize for the person that originally made this. I seen a bunch of people share it, so that's the thing. But they're like, Okada, If he stays in New Japan, he's Okada. If he goes to TNA, he's Okada. If he goes to AEW, he's Okada. If he goes to Noah, he goes Okada. And there's a long list, MLW, a long list, he's Okada. And then like, if he goes to WWE, he's like Sammy the Golden Dragon Fish Face.
I think that's wrong.
I know,
Like,
well, especially with Triple H. With Triple H, I think.
Yeah, it's not the thing. And also, they just changed Pete Dunne's name back to Pete Dunne. Why would they be doing that and then have Okada, one of the arguably the biggest signing they could have ever got from Japan at this point? Why would they have him come in and change who he is?
At this
when their whole goal for so long has been to break into that market. There's no shot they're changing him.
Yeah, and what you call it, on that Triple H is in charge, which I think helps a lot. I think if Vince was in charge, this doesn't happen. And on top of that, it should be very interesting to see where he goes. And it's just been an interesting month with everyone swapping and seeing where they're going. And more companies, the better. So it should be interesting. Plus, I just want to add something you said. I think this is the biggest signing out of Japan since Asuka, aka Kana, and I think this is bigger than her, even though I absolutely love her. I'm thinking this is like the biggest signing that you could possibly have since like Great Muta. This might be the biggest Japanese signing ever.
The only signing that could have happened that would have been bigger than this would have been Tanahashi about 10 years ago.
Yeah. That's President Tanahashi, sir. Respect the land
that
I live in.
But 10 years ago he wasn't a president.
Yeah, that's true. You know, future President Tanahashi. Yeah. But I think Okada is bigger than Tanahashi, star power wise and all that. But here's the thing: who knows a bigger star than Okada? His wife. In English Twitter, Okada was trending. Do you know what was trending in Japanese Twitter when he made the announcement? Well, if Okada's going to America, is his wife gonna follow? So
that's
I just
the one thing I think. I wonder. I feel like a lot of it's gonna have to play in on whether or not he can live by his wife and whether he wants to.
Yeah. Because I can't see, unless she's gonna stop her career, I can't see the easiest way to describe her is the Oprah Winfrey of Japanese television. She's a voice actor, but she's on everything. There's these things called comedians that in Japan you're not a comedian.
There's these things called comedians.
Yeah, okay, let me finish the statement. What is this? A YouTube short? Is this a YouTube short? Let me finish my statement. YouTube shorts.
In Japan, there's these things called comedians, and they tell jokes.
No, that's the thing. You just got fucking busted, raccoon. No, comedians here don't tell jokes. That's just a word they use for celebrities. Speaking of comedians, I'm going to see that famous European comedian. Is it Jimmy Carr? I'm going to see him next Monday. So I'm kind of excited. I hope he doesn't heckle me. I'm like, no.
He does.
Not me. Well, according to my friend, I don't know how true this is, that they put the ugly people up front. I'm like, God damn it.
You're front row.
Yeah, I think they're going to put me in front row. And Jimmy Carr is just going to beat me up. Oh, no. Jimmy Carr. Is that his name? I don't want to be saying his name wrong.
I don't know.
I'll be like
step
one.
Who you're going to see. I don't know his name.
I don't know. He's like a really famous comedian. But yeah, he's coming to Japan. I'm going. So Rainmaker, down in the comments where you think you're going. Percentage-wise, I think it's 40-40. I know. I say this is my percentage. 40 WWE, 50 AEW. 10 TNA. I think TNA is a long shot, but not out of the woods. Here's the thing, though. If they sign him, they put it on the map. But my thing is, so many people, it's got to be hard to be a number 2 and number 3 company because so many people are so in love with their corporation, only watch one show, that no matter where these athletes go, maybe many fans won't switch. So...
I mean, that's usually how it is with everything. People don't tend to go platform to platform.
Nah, they don't go platform to platform. Check me out on Twitch. That's me, KocoSports. Oh, there you go. So, all right, Okada. Well, here's my thing. Whatever company he goes to, I just don't want to see it be like Mystico in WWE or Awesome Kong in WWE or Nakamura in WWE. Has AEW dropped the ball on people? They've dropped a couple balls on WWE guys, but I don't know about international people. Can you think of a guy they dropped the ball on internationally?
Kota Ibushi.
Oh, yeah. But then again, this son of a goose can barely walk.
That doesn't matter. You have the... I don't care how bad the wrestler's health is. Wrestlers are always going to say they can go. Your job as the booker is to know when they can't.
Looking at you, Pro Wrestling Noah. Looking at you, Pro Wrestling Noah. All right. Speaking of Japan,
just think historically, wrestlers always pretend they're healthy.
Oh, yeah. That's because in the old school days, they had to be. The old school days, it was like, dude, if you weren't healthy, you lost your spot, possibly your job. You got to think about it. There's probably territory days. There's probably wrestlers that broke their leg, and that was just the end of their career. There was no coming back, and not because of health reasons, just because, well, you lost your spot. You lost, where are you going to go? So, yeah, back in the day, man, those territory days, man, it had to be rough. Probably around the 80s, 90s. When do you think it's got better? It's way better now than it was back in the day. So, maybe, I know it sounds kind of crazy. Do you think it got better because of Chris Benoit? Like, maybe that turned stuff around?
I don't think so. I don't think Chris Benoit made anything better.
Well, I mean, you had the drug testing, the concussion testing, it started the movement. So, I mean, obviously, he didn't make this as well. I don't know. This is getting dark.